Healthy looks different on everybody. Think about what makes you feel good. What habits do you wish you could keep up with every day? The ones that help you work towards being the best version of you. I'm going to talk you guys through the healthy habits that have made the biggest difference in my life. And remember, the longer you make these tiny changes in your life for, the more habitual they become. And with that, less effort, less daunting, way more realistic. Start today, start small.
So I could totally come on here and tell you all the things that I know we've all heard before, right? Wake up at 6 a.m, drink lots of water, stay hydrated, eat the rainbow, go to Pilates, and be at your desk for 9 a.m. But I want you guys to kind of come away from this video maybe thinking a little bit more deeply about those daily healthy habits that really work for you. And for someone who, example, has like a 9-to-5 job, there's just no way they're going to be able to fit in that ideal 3-hour morning routine in order to set yourself up for success. And hey, if you guys watch me, you know I love an aesthetic, yes, somewhat unrealistic morning routine. I do want you to take away from this video and think hard about what are the actual realistic healthy habits you could incorporate on your daily life with your routine. Don't set intentions and goals that you know do not fit your lifestyle. The book Atomic Habits. I feel like I should start this video by prefacing that if you want to seriously learn about what it really takes to build habit, then I 100% recommend that book. I am in no way gonna be able to put those kind of points across as eloquently as the book does in this video, so I really recommend that book. But I did just want to quote this one part because I feel like when I read this, it kind of opened my mind a little bit, and that is, success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformations. When you're like hyper goal focused and just thinking about the big picture at the end, that long-term goal, we get discouraged when we start making these habits on the daily, but we don't see results quick enough, and then we kind of just slip back into our old ways. It's so important to remember to celebrate the journey, the small wins. I feel like so many of us are guilty of this and just getting caught up in the future, the exciting idea of the future and where we'll be in 5 years, 10 years, what's that plan? And it is almost like you are putting off happiness deliberately because, oh, I'll be happy once I make X amount, or I have that promotion. So I guess my point is, whilst the long journey of building a habit and the discipline that comes with that may not be the most exciting or aesthetic thing to watch to do, it is so important that you find love in that journey. Okay, so let's talk about purposeful shopping habits. I found that actually trying to be less impulsive with shopping, taking a moment just to think like, do I really need that? Is that actually gonna last me? What's its cost per wear? That kind of approach to shopping helps me be less wasteful. I've been a lot more nickety-pickety when it comes to, okay, I need a new piece. Is this actually high quality? And does it actually resonate with me and what I believe to be like my style, truly what I like in a product, in a piece, whatever it may be? And this applies to home decor, to clothing obviously, but also to things like your phone case when it comes to getting a new phone case. It is so important to me to protect this baby with a really good high quality case, like many of us, right? So that's why I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about Casetify. I'm sure you've all heard of Casetify. There's a reason why they're so popular, and I've been using their phone cases for this year now, so the past few months. Casetify is very kindly sponsoring this next part of the video, and they actually sent me a little package to show you guys the different kind of phone cases they do have on their website. So I'm gonna insert that unboxing now.
First up, look at how stunning this packaging is. This is beautiful, and I'm so excited to share these cases with you. They also sell handy little extras like screen protectors, or for example, I got this rope phone strap because I've never had one, which is really cool. I love the color of this. So this is the first case I went for, and this one is their Ultra Impact case. And guys, the level of protection that this case offers your phone is unmatched. You can drop this up to an 11.5 foot drop, which is 5 times the military grade standard, but they are also sleek and still nice to hold. It's not like really bulky or anything. I had to attempt the drop test to show you.
I fully understand this may sound crazy, but I wanted to attempt the drop test with one of these cases because of what they claim. Allegedly, my phone will be completely fine. So here's my phone in the Ultra Impact case. Let's give it a go. Oh my God, it feels so unnatural. Literally completely fine. She survived.
Next, we have the Impact case. I love the design of this. It's so nice. It's a daily reminder. It's unique. I feel like it really fits me and my vibe. Something I love about Casetify is their mission to give back to the community and support artists from all over. They have over 300 artists and 300,000 prints available on their phone cases, which is incredible. Their impact case is also partially made from upcycled phone cases. And then here is an example of a customized case. So I got my name Becca engraved on this one. I kind of like how it's like the black on black, so it's there but it's not too obvious. Guys, you can go to town with this. There are so many options with how to customize your phone. You can choose from a wide range of fonts, also color palettes. I believe you can even add on your own photos onto the phone cases, which is crazy. So find the perfect case for your aesthetic. Casetify 100% have something for you. I've left my link in the description bar. It's just casetify.com/Becca Watson to save 15% off your order. These cases are a game changer and there are so many options. I know you guys will love them. Loving and romanticizing your mornings, having a morning routine. Some people only have an hour in the morning to do everything, get out the door and get to work. But even then, and I was one of these people last year when I had an office job, I kind of hate the way I approached most of my mornings. It was like the day would always start with such a rush. It was literally doing the bare minimum to get ready and get out the door in order to be in the office by 9 a.m. But when I told myself I have like these non-negotiable things I want to do for myself every single morning, things that I know are going to make me feel good, and it was obvious on those days. It was like I felt like I'd already set myself up for success. I would just feel more energized, more ready for work when it actually came to 9 a.m. So I want to talk to you guys about some of my morning rituals that I absolutely love. In a perfect world, I would do all these every single day, but it is nice to have steps set in place with routine, especially in the morning, because your brain is so foggy. It's just woken up, it doesn't know what to do. Brain kind of also just wants like a hit of dopamine, so you go on your phone, you end up scrolling for 10 minutes. The biggest one, no phone for 30 minutes to an hour if I can when I first wake up. If I can do this, I know I'm actually gonna have quite a successful start to the day and just go crack on with my morning. Waking up to a hate comment, waking up to a really horrible news headline, like that is not the way to start your day. I'm not telling you to not pay attention to the news. It's okay to be in your own safe bubble for the first part of your day. Something that's becoming habit for me is before anything, I go to the kitchen, I make myself a little AG1 nutritional drink, the one from Athletic Greens, packed with so many nutrients that our body needs. And that feels good, knowing the very first thing you're doing for yourself is like an investment into your health. Whether it's a little juice shot or it's your vitamins, your supplements, whatever. Replacing the habit of like reaching for your phone and scrolling at the start of your day, just try to replace that with another habit. Something I've been really good at this year, and I think it does make a huge difference in terms of like my energy levels throughout the day, is no coffee first thing. Coffee for me, if I have more than 2 a day, I'm gonna feel a little bit shaky, a little bit anxious. And if I have a coffee like at the very start of the day, I'm gonna want another one like late morning and then afternoon. So I'm trying to cut down on caffeine a bit. And also, I think it was Huberman's podcast, or I learned somewhere about how if you have caffeine like too early, it actually impacts your circadian rhythms and makes it harder for you to actually feel more energized later on in the day. And I'm actually finding that habit really easy right now, because the first thing I'll go and do is make myself that little AG1 drink, something that is actually really good for me first thing in the morning. So it's like satisfying that kind of craving to have a drink. Breaking a habit like that can be quite hard, so that's why it's a good idea to try and replace it with something. Matcha can actually be a really good alternative to caffeine. I feel like, and I hope I'm correct just from what I've learned, that matcha like helps you have more energy for a longer period. It doesn't give you the same kind of crash that coffee does. Journaling or reading like a self-improvement book, just a chapter at the beginning of every day. I feel like whenever I say this in a video, there's obviously people who comment like that's completely unrealistic, I don't have time for that. And of course, I completely get that. But if you do, I find it just really helps to put my mind in the right place first thing. I think it's so easy to wake up every day and be worried about, oh my gosh, I have to finish this task, I have this deadline today. And that's what our days like revolve around. Whereas if you just kind of put that off for the beginning of your day and you switch that mindset to, okay, what am I actually grateful for? What's great around me, my family, my friends? It actually goes a long way, that kind of thinking. Breakfast, of course, I believe is the most important meal of the day, but also it's really important to actually have a breakfast that does
fill you up, and breakfast can still be quick and easy. A good like protein smoothie with a bunch of fruits. I can't remember her username on TikTok. I found someone, I think her name's Emily. I can't remember if it's Emily the nutritionist or something. She has some really nice recipes on her TikTok. Breakfast ideas that take not long to meal prep at all. You can even like shove them in the freezer and then you just heat them up in the morning. This year, I've definitely fallen in love with how good it feels to have a more active lifestyle. And I think where I went wrong before was I always kind of made up the idea in my head that an active lifestyle looks like being in the gym 5-6 days a week. That's what I thought I had to aim for, and that's just never been me. I am starting to really like a bit more weightlifting, that kind of training, but for me to have a like well-rounded, varied workout routine, I need to have those kind of like less intense workouts like Pilates, yoga mixed in there. I absolutely love workout classes. Really appreciating how it feels and the mindset shift of it's actually just a celebration of what your body's capable of, what your body can do, rather than working out always feeling like a chore. I have a little dog. As I'm sure a lot of you know, getting outside and going for a walk every single day is not a choice. It's something I have to do for him. But for people who don't have dogs, I still always hugely encourage to still get outside and go for a walk every single day. Embrace the whole hot girl walk. Put on your headphones, turn on a podcast, go get yourself a coffee. That's still movement, you're still getting your steps in, which is amazing for your body. Something else I thought I would connect to this point is I've recently got a standing desk. My one's from Flexi Spot, and the difference, I feel like we forget that as humans, we're not meant to be sitting down for like 10 hours a day working. Is really detrimental to your health. And I know I'm not saying anything new here. I'm sure most of you know that. But to break that habit is really hard. And also, I completely get it, not doable like all the time for everyone. Like if you're in the office, I really want to try one of those like under the desk treadmills where you can walk whilst doing emails, etc. Okay, now focusing a little bit more on like personal growth. I had to mention this point in this video because it's a big thing that I'm honestly going through right now. It's a transition. For context, I'm someone who lived at home throughout education. Like I only moved out when I graduated, and then I moved in with Will, my now fiance, and we've lived together for the past like 4 years now, which is crazy. And I have you now, this little boy. I've only lived in London for like a year now. Before I was in Edinburgh, where I had like all my hometown friends, my family lived there. Like I always had people around me, and loneliness was honestly something I've never struggled with. Now I live in London, this big city where I have like a few individuals who are my friends here. Will now is in the office like Monday to Friday. Given what I do, I'm home alone a lot of the time. I for the first time have had to learn how to actually like enjoy my own company, and I feel like a lot of that actually stems from liking yourself as a person, enjoying doing things alone and feeling independent and brave enough to go out and do something alone. Like normally with a workout class or going and getting coffee, something like that, like I always would associate finding a friend to go do that thing with. And I keep finding myself week on week in positions where, okay, I have to go do that alone, and that's scary and daunting, but it's growth. I'm trying to make a habit of pushing myself out of my comfort zone every week. I'm actually gonna throw a question here for you guys. A little bit of reflective thinking, but when was the last time you were nervous? Nerves are something we feel when we're like in an unfamiliar position, but nerves, in that context at least, is a good thing. It symbolizes growth, and no matter whatever point of life that we're at, I truly believe we can always be learning and pushing ourselves out of that comfort bubble. So this video is all about health, right? It seems only right to talk about the habits I've made when it comes to food that have kind of helped me live a healthier lifestyle. I know like diet culture and everything is such a touchy subject, and especially it makes me nervous to talk about it from a standpoint of someone who is not a nutritionist, does not know what she's talking about. Not at all going into like how many calories I eat a day, because I couldn't even answer that. I think all of that is for you to know on a very individual basis, like the right kind of foods you should be consuming. However, I have listed some points, habits that I've changed that do help me make healthier decisions when it comes to food, and for me it's all about ease. Like the times in my life where I've eaten better and so just inevitably feel better, feel more fueled and energized, just like have a healthier relationship with food, versus the times where I don't, and I'm maybe not eating the best. I'm eating more like processed foods and just not being all that conscious about like what's going into my body. It always comes down to time. And like, how do I battle that when life is a bit busier? What things can I do and change to make sure like I'm still eating well? This might sound very cliche, but I wanted to mention it because it's such an important one for me. And it all stems from like the weekly food shop. How do you go about that? I feel like when I go food shopping, it's important for me not to feel really hungry in that moment. I don't feel the urge to pick up the snacks and stuff that maybe aren't the best for me. I use HelloFresh. It's like basically 2 years now, just because it works so well for me. I'm a snacker. I just am through and through. It doesn't matter how filling my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner is, like I'm always gonna be that person who wants dessert, who wants a late afternoon snack. So where I can have control over that is choosing like what snacks I go for. And there are healthy snacks. When I do my food shop, I make more effort to deliberately pick healthier snacks that I know I still love, are still really yummy. I'm gonna enjoy them just as much. Another thing that helps me so much, and I've touched on it a little bit in terms of like morning routine, preparing a good breakfast the night before. I've never been that person who spends half of their Sunday preparing like chicken, rice, broccoli in the little containers and you have like one for every single day of the week. I'm not that person. But when I talk about meal prep, it's the little things that really don't take that long to prepare but save me a lot of time in the week. That could literally be like bulk preparing rice. I love to have rice with like every lunch. Or for me, I really love my little juice shots, or like the breakfast bagel I was talking about earlier. In the evening, instead of reaching for beer or wine, so I like to replace that craving for like a cold kind of fizzy drink, and instead I'll have a trip, like those CBD drinks I love, or a kombucha, which is like that bubbly fermented tea. I think kombucha does have caffeine in it, so maybe it's not best for the evening, but to be fair, like I have it in the evening and I don't feel like it impacts me, but there you go. That's something to bear in mind. The last habit I want to talk about that has without a doubt changed my life. That sounds very dramatic. Instead of watching that second episode of the show you're watching or scrolling through your phone, going on TikTok, resist that urge. Go to bed at half an hour, 20 minutes earlier than you need to. Switch your phone on do not disturb, sleep mode, whatever, and actually use those 20-30 minutes to unwind. I recently bought the Lumi alarm clock, which you can see behind me, and what I love about that is how it has like a sunset setting, so it very slowly like starts to dim the light and it will eventually completely turn off. It also eventually goes red, which I believe like red light's actually really good for you at bedtime. I could be wrong. I swear I've read that somewhere. Using that time to like set up for tomorrow, writing out a to-do list so you have like a brain dump, taking out your gym clothes so you feel prepared to work out first thing the next day. Something I always feel very proud of myself when I do this, and I don't do it enough, but read for 15 minutes. Screen time for you right before bed. There's all this data that backs it up that's not good for you. Replace it with a book. Talk to your partner about your days and properly unwind in order to get a better night's sleep. Those are my healthy habits. I feel like I didn't list a bunch actually. I feel like I only spoke about 5 or 6, but these genuinely are the ones that I feel have personally impacted me the most. And they're ones that I'm still working on. Like I said at the start of this video, habits take time to actually become habits. Don't be harsh on yourself. You are good enough the way you are. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. I feel like the support I've had recently on my channel is honestly overwhelming. There's quite a few new faces, and so I just want to say I see you and I'm so grateful. It's actually hard to vocalize, put into words. And yeah, thank you so much for coming back each week to watch me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.